Hello, everyone, and welcome to the AVGL. I'm Paul Raby Santoro alongside William Gormizer Newberry. How you doing, bud?
Dude, I'm doing great. Excited for the set we have. We have two colleges coming in for the finals from the Collegiate League.
Wow.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how they can go up against each other, how they fare against each other, because they're competing for a good chunk of money, too.
That's right. As the Collegiate series is now taken underway, we have Carleton, or my favorite, the Bird Eggs. They're going to ban out Ice Mines. As ARC, American River College, will ban out Timber Mill. So two of the longer push maps here are going to be banned out first to start things out on the day. We'll see how that plays out for them as we head down into the draft very shortly. What do you expect to see from these collegiate teams? And not the PPL and not the PGS, but they're on the rise.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we've been seeing them. Like, we know the names from kind of here and there. We've seen them play, so I'm expecting some interesting combinations coming out from them, to say the least. Brightmarsh going to be the first one, so I think there's actually a lot of potential here, because, I mean, yesterday we saw Pinta on Brightmarsh, so coming through, I don't know if we're going to see another one. That's kind of a rare occurrence, but still, it's one of those things. It's time for a team to shine, and coming through, it's just going to be a lot on them. This is also going to be, for some players, the first LAN experience coming through. So whether or not there's nerves, I'm hoping I hear some trash talk over that wall. Otherwise, I'm going to be a little upset. Well,
this is definitely some of these younger guys here, and they're definitely ecstatic to be here. But look at the jersey symbol. Doesn't look so much like a bird egg on the jersey itself.
Yeah, that one has like a flame.
Yeah,
kind of like kindling it up.
Now, these guys are from Canada as well. That's one thing to point out, which is they're a little bit away from home. Do we know where American River College is from?
No.
I don't know where it's from. There's too many colleges in the world.
I'm assuming it's in America.
Fair enough, and we'll take that.
It has something to do with a river.
All right, so probably somewhere in the Midwest. But so far, ARC versus Carleton. Square Tree versus Bird Egg. It's going to get interesting now as the first bands come out to start out the day. There's this good old JabJab there in the camera. He's just getting his team ready. Look at confidence on the young man. Or maybe a little bit of, oh, there we go. That was a little play to the camera.
Add a little bit of flavor to it.
But on this map in particular, as we go over this Brightmarsh here, McCoy gets banned out first there by ARC. And what do you expect the ban to be by Carleton to rebuttal?
I wouldn't be upset with the Inara coming through, because she's just been really strong on Brightmarsh. It's one of those things that kind of depends on what you want to deal with. I mean, we've seen a lot of Bomb King for the LAN, whether or not these guys have been paying attention. He's been a huge point of contention, so getting rid of him wouldn't be too surprising. But they're going to go with the Terminus. There's pretty much like three staple bans right now. It'd be Terminus, Inara, or the Bomb King, and they're going to take out the one they just don't want to deal with the most.
Fair enough. So Bomb King expected to maybe make his way through. Bomb King has had 100% pick or ban rate throughout the entirety of this tournament so far, and ARC will be first on the clock with their pick now, as they will go with Inara to start things off. Carleton now, 2 and 3 will be the next pick coming out here. We don't know much about these teams. I mean, a lot of these players, surprisingly, are actually from the PGS series. We've seen bagelwOw, JabJab, RealGoochMob. Who else do we have on these squads? Bomb King comes out there quickly. There was a couple of them, Cacanuck. All these guys. He was a Barrack player throughout the PGS. Yeah.
They do not, like, they're not coming in, obviously, like, they're finalists here. Yeah. They're not just playing around. They actually have a lot of it and being able to come through. I expect these to be close matches. I don't expect it to be a stomp, really, for either side. I fully expect them to have fun, but you can see, like, smiles and then immediately, like, the serious face, because they're like, oh, yeah, you know, this is awesome. This is really cool. It's cool to be here. But then they also want to win.
Yeah, and Carleton, they're actually going to take Bomb King as well as Torvald. And you talk to some of the EU pros who've got the scene, and they regard Bomb King Torvald on the same team to be auto-win. And that's literally what Elvin Path has said from his mouth. However, I like what ARC's doing here. ARC, they're going to go over to the Buck play now. Buck, I was kind of disappointed watching North America throughout the weekend, because EU demonstrated how this bulk-up Buck is just literally, I don't want to say OP, but it's up there as far as top of the draft order.
If you can play it.
Yeah, if you can play it. But the thing is that it's not hard to play Buck. You just jump around, you get your shots off, play safe, and every time you activate recovery, you get a full life bar. I mean, but I like what ARC's doing, because they're adapting it quick, they're going right into it, and it's going to come out on their team. Genos Drogos as well to round things off.
And I really like the composition coming down. We've seen a lot of Drogos where it's not necessarily like, hey, I'm going to be killing you. Hey, it's just, I'm going to poke you down. Buck's going to be the one. He's going to sweep through the back line. He's going to make sure everything goes down. And like you said, being able to kind of go through, heal himself up, keep himself alive. He doesn't have to worry. Genos being able to heal through the wall as well kind of helps keep him alive, where he can kind of go do the cleanup duty. They're going to line it out here for Carleton with Grok.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick now, as they'll go with Maldumba as well. So two healers coming out here for Carleton. Grok's going to be able to really bounce out some lightning, spread that around throughout the team. Maldumba will be able to gourd on top of the point for Torvald as well as Fernando. And that Torvald protection bubble with Field Study will be able to come out 40% extra damage to whoever he decides to use protection on, as that can really apply to, I mean, I guess it's going to Bomb King most of the time, if he can get the line of sight off. If not, maybe over to the Grok. Grok is capable of spreading high damage values.
Oh, yeah. We've seen a lot of Groks come through and actually be the surprising top damage coming in, where it's just like, okay, yeah, they do get that little bit of trickle healing around, you know, it's usually around the point. They kind of come in and they can help up to assist like Moldamba. There's going to be a ton of healing whenever Carleton's actually capturing.
Sure.
But once it comes through, I expect him to be control. A lot of damage, helping out, assisting the Bomb King, making sure things go their way to come through, and just splash the damage around and find wherever kills they may.
Well, Bright Marsh is going to be map number 1 as we start out the AVGL Collegiate Championship here. 1-1. It's going to be Bird Egg versus Square Tree. American River versus Carleton, as we'll start things out.
And like you said, a lot of names here you should recognize and playing together. So they're all going to have a lot coming through just from the PGS, and we have already seen what PGS teams can do this weekend, and I expect to have a lot coming down from the players that have been able to either compete against them or just have the practice as they come forward with it. And I'm putting a lot of pressure right now immediately onto where these first shots come from Dvelop, just immediately onto the point, being able to get some control for him.
Yeah, he's going to shoot off right onto the objective. As we know, bagelwOw, Poison 1999, as well as Powtech here are all been players in our series PGS for quite some time. A lot of damage coming out as American River get right onto the point. That fire spit's going to connect to Demise and take one down. Dvelop now going for a right side flank. Cacanuck is going to take out another, but Dvelop's got the back line, and it looks like Carleton's in disarray.
What a nice shot, turnaround knockup, just kill the Moldamba off. They're going through. They are not holding back right now as American River come in to take control of this point, 42%. And they're holding on to it relatively well, and this Drogas is doing work.
Yeah, he's actually playing phenomenal as Dvelop comes out with a 5 streak now, 67% and rising for American River, as there needs to be a contest here from Carleton. Carleton have no way of getting on the point with that combustible fire spit coming off from every angle. Dvelop's untouched, Dragon punches online, and it's coming out. He's searching for one, but it could be the Torvald, and no, he missed it, but he's turned around and found him.
Going to be able to get that clear and at least get rid of one of the tankier bodies. Then they follow up. Fernando going to end up falling down. Grok, Moldamba, the only two left. Not exactly the kind of champions that you expect to turn around that capture point right now, though. And the 1v2 with JabJab is going to have to fall back 93%. But American River have ultimately gained a ton of control here. This is Carleton fighting back, but they have a lot on their plate.
Yeah, they're trying to deal with this Torvald who gets void grabbed up, and he's eating a lot of damage. He might make it away with the chin of his life, but no, JabJab finds him. Fire spit into the objective now. That'll hit Tempest, but Grok won't get displaced. Now, it'll be 99% and rising here for American River. Not rising, but actually stagnant as both teams are fighting for the point. Powtech does find one for Carleton, and now it's the overtime meter that has begun to tick out in favor of American River.
Dvelop is just going unanswered with all of this damage. He's being able to spread it around, no problem. Captured for American River. He gets a double kill there, and he's just continuing to pump out these rockets, pump down Carleton's health bars. And they don't have a reply for him just yet. They don't have anyone looking at him. And when you look at their lineup, they don't really have anything to help deal with the Dragon.
Yeah, they honestly have nothing. I mean, maybe some accuracy from the Bomb King, but that's a hard task. Then you have a little bit of fireball there from Fernando. I mean, Grok can get up there, but it's definitely difficult. Look at this. I mean, it's really Dvelop just going off here, getting those fire spit resets. And he's just raining damage. He's finally going to eat some, but he'll just get away as a Hex of Fire comes out from RealGoochMob as he's trying to just take down Carleton and push this payload in for a 2-0 start. But it's going to be Carleton with a 2-man rebuttal.
Not quite finding the kill he wanted. Broccoli going to be able to take out GoochMob, and it's not going to be that big of a problem. Forse, though, finding Demise, finally being able to hit that last few health that Demise had left up, standing there. The Torvald going to be gone for a little bit, which is going to allow American River to potentially push forward. But without Ruckus, without Anar immediately there, they don't really have that pushing power in.
No, and JabJab over here on the buck, as we're seeing Dvelop come on behind him. American River have taken to the high ground now as Carleton of Canada are looking for a play here. It's going to be the Dragon Punch coming out, and he's going to locate Fernando, but oh, he'll find him once again the last second. Poison's going to head to the death screen as 106 remain, and now it's Dvelop. Once again on the right-hand side, fire spin, he's just going to connect with 3.
Almost another chance where someone was just hiding right behind the wall and Droga's going to miss, but we see Dvelop not going to get fooled at all, and he's coming through again. Tons of damage, tons of rockets, direct hits from here, as well as the combustible legendary, like just being able to spread the damage around. He's not even having to confirm all these kills. He's hitting so hard. The rest of his team cleans it up afterward just like that.
And RealGoochMob as well as JabJab tack on 2 kills each, but bagelwOw and Poison rebuttal. And now it's Carleton that are trying to hold this defensive out for about another 30 seconds or so. Dvelop has been pretty uncontested here on the Drogos most of the time. And right now, like you said, Carleton just doesn't have a true, absolute factor way to deal with him. There's not a lot of hit scan on their team besides the Grok, and even if it's there, it's not characters that can get up to that elevation status of Drogos, even if they do have that.
And not someone that you really expect to go, I guess, dragon hunting in this kind of case. Yeah, the lightning staff can hit him. Yeah, you can kind of go up there, but like you said, it's really difficult as a Grok, especially by yourself, to be the one trying to find the kill on this. The bonking, you have to have insane arcs to be able to try and take him down. Carleton, though, do find the successful defense. They do keep them pushed back, and a lot of that was the fact that even though they couldn't take down the Drogos, they were taking down the Ruckus. They were keeping Inara kind of under control and just making sure to never let them have any grouping up for American River so that they could actually get that push going again.
Yeah, that was a great fire spit there. And I mean, so are they not the bird eggs? Are they the bird flames? I want to know what that symbol is on their jersey. The bird egg of Carleton.
The bird egg.
Versus American River, their symbol's a tree. That has nothing to do with a river, but it'll do.
It'll do.
It'll do. But no, a great way to start out. 1-1 tie here. 4 ultimates for Carleton as Grok has 95%, and he's going to be on his ultimate as well, heading down to the second point. Good job saving ultimates. In fact, both teams really did. As we'll see as we follow along with JabJab. He's going to flick around the right side, but meet Fernando. And Fernando coming through with that flamethrower. He's going to have to disengage as 2 big shots came out from JabJab. Through time and space came out as well. And that might connect now. Torvald, he's eating a lot of damage too. King Bomb, all the ultimates. Dragon Punch, Tempest, they're all coming out. But Eaturbroccoli gets a big double and takes down Developing Cacanuck.
Not able to do anything against that lineup. The ult's being able to get charged up, ready to go. We saw the Tempest come through as well just to get that little bit of extra healing, a little bit of extra damage that has now allowed Carleton to just root themselves on this point. Dread Serpent coming through. It's not going to be enough to find a kill just yet, but still, zoning is the name of the game. Carleton are just looking to keep this control, get that point as high up in percentage as they can before they end up having to fall back. Yeah,
81% though. Carleton doing a great job of just getting on the objective now. As Dvelop, he's actually going to be sitting in the window right here and just hitting some more fire spits come out. He's going to find the Fernando. He's going to eat a lot of damage. Fernando might take him out, and he will. Poison chases him down of Team Carleton. And now it's 51% and still rising for American River, but they are down a man, so Carleton can't. Oh, it's actually a 1-1 tie after JabJab just takes down Poison and rebuttal.
Demise looking for the last few shots as well as Bagel. Inara is so low right there, but the wall was enough to force them to come around, giving her enough time to just heal up a little bit. You can see what Inara can do with that little bit of health. She is nice and tanky and able to stay alive, especially with the rest of the team now coming in. JabJab going to get taken down by Bagel, and this is where Carleton can start pushing forward. But again, a 1-for-1 trade overall. They lost the Bomb King, and they traded out for the Buck, but they pick up the Inara.
That's right. Now 99% for American River. Eaturbroccoli of Team Carleton is on his way back. 2 members of Carleton are going to have kill streaks now, as it's going to go to Carleton in the second round. And Poison 1999 is on that Fernando. It's up to him. He's actually been taking the role of taking down that Drogos himself.
And this is, to me, is exactly what they needed to do. They needed to focus down the Drogos. What was happening for that first point was just a lot of, okay, you're all grouped up in here. Yeah. Okay, now you're all getting splash damage. You're getting rockets to your face. No matter what, Drogos is having the impact. And then, hey, the 1-2 people that I didn't kill, I'm just going to go ahead and Dragon Punch to make sure that they are completely out of there. But coming through, you have one person going down, focusing him out, make sure he doesn't have that impact, and you get 60% push on a payload for no trouble. That was a great Grumpy bomb placement there by Eaturbroccoli. Seismic Crash is going to come out, but Dvelop of Team American River will find one. It's a 1-for-1 trade as Poison takes down Dvelop. Now it's 143 remain. Powtech is going to get a kill as well there on the Grok. And this payload is around 60% of the way with 135 remaining now on the clock. bagelwOw finds another 3 down for American River. If they can find JabJab here on the Buck, they might be able to push this one through, and Carleton would take the lead. Looking to try and find the last couple hits. Forse taken down there, and now American River kind of corralled into their spawn. 1:19 left on the clock, and all you have to do is push this payload just a little bit. Focusing down the Bomb King, though, that's the smart move. Get rid of Bagel. The healer and the blaster both removed. That takes a lot out for Carleton, a lot in pushing terms, but you have to contest it. Yeah, the push does go through as American River there got lackluster on the defense, kind of got bounced away from the objective, and Carleton just rolled it right in. This was this play in the beginning that we saw Eaturbroccoli come around the backside flank, kills Cacanuck. Wow, Poppy bombs up in the air into a double kill with the stickies.
Wow, onto the flying Dragon Punch Drogos. He will lose that ultimate from being killed while inside of it. That was a great play there by Broccoli.
Almost 40,000 damage separates the Drogos and the Bomb King right now.
Yeah, that doesn't matter, though. The Bomb King's team is up 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down, that shows, again, poke versus kills.
Yeah.
Yes, you can deal damage to everybody. If you aren't killing them, it's not really going to mean a lot. And you said this yesterday. It's an objective game, but kills still matter.
Yeah.
It's not team deathmatch, but you still have to actually get some kills to get your team some progress. And if you're not the one confirming them, and your team can't confirm the poke that you're getting down to make it a kill, you're not getting anywhere. And yes, like even right now, you're getting a ton of damage, but are we going to see Demise fall? Ultimately, yes, but where's the rest of the team?
Yeah, we got to see it come out. We saw a lot of Chronos there on the item chart come out. A little bit of Master Riding as well for Carleton. They'll prioritize that. For American River, they went into the resilience factor. Dragon Punch does come out, and Dvelop will take down Broccoli, but Poison finds him. Dvelop has now died twice while using his Dragon Punch, and it's not that it was a bad Dragon Punch, but he didn't get out to safety, so it wasn't maximum min-max there. At 63%, as Carleton might walk away with game one, despite the fire that American River started out with. It's been all Carleton ever since the first round.
And it just seems like when it came down to it, the healing so far has been very good. King Bomb being channeled, looking to go around, looking to come up, going to be able to get the one stun, trying to find the kill, but ends up taking a spill before he can find it. But now, Carleton still fighting forward, still looking for the point and finding kills with it.
Yeah, and look at this. Grok is doing a lot of damage there. He winds up taking out bagelwOw, and now he's going to find more. Tempest online to heal the rest of his team up, as well as take down the Drogos. Great play there by Powtech, as he's on a 21 streak, and he's not done yet. He's looking for a Nara. Uh-oh, but here comes Ruckus out into the picture. He's still trying to find Cacanuck, and he does, with the help of Eaturbroccoli of Carleton.
Doing his best, holding it by himself. Now the rest of his team finally coming in. Overtime ticking down, 99%. Carleton are looking strong.
Yeah, that's right. Eaturbroccoli. Look at this. He's going to battle the Drogos, and it's going to be Carleton that walk away with the victory as they take map 1 here for Canada. The Bird Eggs are looking strong today.
Coming in, it looked rough for them. It looked like they didn't know what to do, how to deal with the Drogos, and slowly but surely they were just like, oh, wait, we just kill him. Like, just kill him. And then you can all of a sudden have that impact. And even though you'll see the damage number highest, 119K there sitting up for Dvelop, coming up really, really close behind him was Powtech, who was actually applying a lot of that damage as the Grok, doing so much at the end of that point.
Grok has insane damage. Look at this. Powtech, 9-3 and 26. The guy affected, 35 different kills here on the Grok. That's one of the specialties there. Dvelop, he affected 25, had 7 deaths. In fact, he was the only member of American River that really had a success story here. The rest of them went -5, 1, 6, and 7. So across the board, American River couldn't get anything going despite having the Inara, despite having the Buck. JabJab couldn't get that moving at all. And right now, I mean, really, it was Grok. He was the standout here. Look at this. Across the board, the damage, 111K from the off healer. And 9-3 and 26.
Like you said, like the slash line, great, but the damage that kept up with the Drogos, who early on, like that was just constant. Like he was the name of the game was the Drogos. I pretty much put American River on his back for that first round, but once it came down, he had great Tempest. He was just fighting. At this point, he was alone.
Right.
And he's still holding on to the point. He's still going forward and still winning up against the Inara, just not having the pressure coming down from American River to be able to take care of him.
Yeah, that was a great job there by him as he really held it down. Now, a lot of people will say the damage charts are somewhat skewed because the shock pulse does bounce to 4 targets, but it doesn't matter. That's still how the character is played. That's how Grok is used. If your off healer it's really your off healer off damage is still trickling in 111,000 despite his extra healing. I mean, that's a great stat line for me. As the Grok comes out, heading over to map 2, we'll see if American River can adapt or if it once again will be the Bird Eggs.
I'm just wondering what you do to swap it up, because you had a really good lineup coming into that. Your draft wasn't that bad. You didn't have the Makoa or the Terminus, but it's like, okay, well, that's not a big deal. I think Inara really didn't have the presence that you normally expect out of Inara.
Right.
Coming into Serpent Beach, maybe moving away from that, themselves looking for potentially trying to swing the Makoa in, ban something else out, to try and get that flow going better for them.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see JabJab get a little bit more comfortable, as well as RealGoochMob. I mean, RealGoochMob we've seen throughout the history of the PGS to have a significant standing and a presence brought into whatever team he's playing on. We didn't see it there, as well as JabJab. I know he played a lot of Cassie before the nerfs, but she is still viable. Yeah, you have to go a different build, and yes, you have to change your playstyle a little bit. but they need more. It can't just be Dvelop. If Dvelop keeps playing like that, though, that's a good starting piece.
And this is one of those maps where, I mean, Cassie used to be huge here.
Yeah.
And we saw yesterday that Cassie can still be played with some of these changes. She still can have that same impact.
Oh, definitely.
But you have to be able to bring it in. Eevee has also been one of the bigger ones coming in to Serpent Beach, where it's just like she just has a lot of places to hide, a lot of places to bounce around, fly to, and a lot of angles that she can find. So if you can actually do that, I wouldn't be upset to see one of these teams try to grab that.
Right.
Maybe replacing the Drogos on the side of American River just to try and push it forward, see if you can run it, but that also depends on the players themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I disagree with is that I wouldn't replace the Drogos.
Yeah.
He just wasn't the problem there. I mean, JabJab, I'm putting a little bit on him, and it's also RealGoochMob because these guys have this PGS, practice regimen under their belt. They're playing at a higher level than just collegiate. It goes up the way. You have the high school star ladder, you have the collegiate division, then you have the PGS, and then you have the PPL. You got to get more from RealGoochMob and JabJab. They're well too dressed for the occasion, at least with their medals and their accomplishments to be performing like that.
And it always comes down to, not specifically for these two teams, but when you see something like that where sometimes it is, 1 or 2 star players versus a team working as a unit.
Yeah.
And Carleton there, they were working as a unit. Like that was all of them. Yes, the Grok did a lot. The Grok did a lot to help them.
They should have won that
forward,
game on paper.
But when it came through, they were still working together as a unit. When one fell, the rest of them kind of moved to kind of encompass that to make up for the deficit. Shaolin banned away from American River, and that one has to be just pure homework. And of course, we've seen what Shaolin can do. We've seen Shaolin on this map. We've seen Shaolin be just bonkers.
Yeah, and that was a shot at JabJab, that Shaolin ban. I mean, even though Shaolin is just a great ban, period, JabJab, I believe, does have the Shaolin in his arsenal, and Carleton will use that to set up the Bomb King once again. Bomb King, if you have a tier list on paper, at the damage category, he's probably number 1. And it's not so much for the damage that he brings to the table, but it's the control he brings to a fight. Grumpy Bomb every 6 seconds. King Bomb, massive AoE stun on top of damage, leading into Sticky Bomb, Wombo, or any other team firing off damage to take out kills. Anara Makoa will come out here for Arc, so I like the frontline composition they're going with. If Terminus is out of the game, this is probably my favorite. Maybe Makoa Torvald is up there as well.
Yeah.
But this is probably my favorite to hold the point down.
And when it came through, I was thinking it's Makoa someone. Like, it doesn't matter who it else is. It's like Makoa's come through. There's a reason we see him at the same rate, I believe, right now, 100% pick band as Bomb King coming through. I don't think his win rate is as high as Bomb King right now through at least the LAN.
Right.
But coming in, we do know he's strong. He has a lot, and being able to come in with the Anara as well, I think they're going to have a lot of setup. Torvald, Grok, it worked once. There's no reason to skip over it. It was gorgeous. Might as well run it again.
Oh, yeah, and all smiles coming out there from Carleton on the verse side. Arc, a little straight face there is right there. That's Dvelop. He was having a great game. It's tough when you're a player and you have a great game. Your team kind of underperforms. And you're thinking to yourself, like, man, I just went 2.0 KD, 2.2 KD, and we still lost the game. Yeah. I mean, that's tough, but that's to your play. That's to what you said about team play style encompassing the individual star player.
One person can do well, but the team has to do well too. Like, you can't just. If everyone, like you said, like they were negative, they were coming through, there weren't a lot of kills coming down. I expected a little bit more actually with this lineup coming through. I wouldn't mind maybe seeing the Drogos come in once again, because when you look on the other side, again, main hit scan's going to be Grok. They have the Ruckus, though, to kind of help deal with that and kind of aim up and be able to shoot down the dragon himself. But there's a lot for it. He did a lot of damage. There's no real reason to take it out of your composition.
Well, we're seeing the same exact team comps. Makoa swapped for Ruckus, and Ruckus was taken by Carleton. They had Fernando last time. So other than that, though, it's the exact same compositions. So Carleton feeling, and as well as All American River, they kind of want to go with what they have prepared with and prepared for. We'll see if this map changes things over on Serpent Beach.
And the other thing this kind of brings up in my mind is what we saw kind of yesterday when we watched PRD versus SK, where it was PGS versus PPL, and you're like, well, one team should win, the other one should lose. That's just how it was kind of written down on paper. And then it came to comfort versus this is what people have been winning with.
Right.
We're comfortable on these picks. If you're happy with what you have, that's going to be the best thing in the world for you. You're going to be able to come through. You don't have to focus as hard about how you're playing, because it becomes kind of like a second nature when you're comfortable with the Bomb King, with the Grok or something. And then you can focus more on your team dynamic, which I think is kind of what Carleton is looking for.
Right, yeah. And they're going to stay with it. Now they'll have the Ruckus, which will be an easier time to deal with Fernando. And this is something that Rain Day had said yesterday, and I'm starting to believe it. Fernando seems to be an extremely high-skill champion that has not yet been fully tapped. When we see Fernando come out, even last game, Fernando, I saw him, I was like, he's probably going to get rockets rained on him, maybe not do that much.
Yeah.
He wound up killing the Drogos 3-4 times, and it was just a phenomenal play there. But Poison this time is going to feel like, I'm going to go with the Ruckus and make it work. JabJab, he'll return to the buck as we see some of the items come out here. A lot of... One thing I'm also noticing about Carleton versus American River is that they're prioritizing the Chronos. 2 or 3 of their members are going Chronos, and they're actually staying away from the Wrecker. Let's see if Eaturbroccoli picks the Wrecker up. Yeah, he will. Last second.
I think it's actually interesting to see the double Chronos coming through, just because normally it's like, okay, yeah, the healer gets Chronos, they want to heal a little bit more. Grok going Chronos as well, to me, means, yeah, okay, he's looking to heal a little bit more, but he's also just looking for a little bit of extra damage, being able to kind of right-click people and come through, and that was clean cut.
Yeah, first blood going over to Carleton. Once again, American River rushed the objective with that front line of Makoa, but right now it's Eaturbroccoli, the Bomb King. They got to stop letting this guy get him, because right now he's going right up to the top line. He finds Makoa in the shell shield, but Makoa very weak. He's going to go down here. Oh, good dredge anchor there, but it won't matter, as Eaturbroccoli is still going off, and another grumpy bomb for control.
He killed the Moldamba off the Makoa. He bombed Makoa, exploded, got Moldamba in the splash, and now has given Carleton, I mean, this is kind of the standard what you see when a team comes through. They lose the first round, they came back, they won 4 in a row, and now they're happy. Now they're comfortable. They've figured out exactly where they are, and they grab that first point, no problem.
I mean, they got to get the Bomb King. I don't know why teams, and this is across all regions, not so much EU. EU has really been the dictators of this current meta, but they're right. If you let that Bomb King go through, if someone on their team can play him, you're in trouble. And Eaturbroccoli right now has been demonstrating that to the T, as right now Carleton already has this payload around 50% of the way, and it's continually pushing forward.
Being able to stay alive, stay healthy, and again, just aggressive frontline. So many members of Carleton at this point are just pushing forward, looking for kills, just trying to keep American River under control. The payload, slowly but surely, just moving its way towards its final destination. American River, they're just getting constantly poked out. They either fall back to their base, which gives more ground for Carleton, or they end up dying, which gives even more ground for Carleton, because that adds that 10-second deficit that they're not going to be there. JabJab landing immediately gets taken down.
Hexifier comes out there, and as well as a Tempest comes out from Carleton. 2 teams, as it's 125 remain, but this one's going to get walked right on in. It's going to be a Makoa as a last-ditch effort, but the Hyper Beam will displace the last 2 members of American River, and they'll get taken out as Carleton pushed this one in 2-0 to start.
Very different story that I saw there. As you can see, Carleton seem a little happy right now, but Eaturbroccoli coming through, the first blood, the damage he was able to get, everything he was spreading. Like you said, if you have a Bomb King on the other team and they can get it right there.
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
Yeah, it was a good play.
I really liked the way, it was
Great
just
play.
one of those, you don't need to focus down the one that's lower health bar if you can hit both.
Well, we're going to now head into the second round as we take a look at the damage charts. Carleton leading 3 of those. Let's pull up the economy chart as well. Let's see how the net worth is doing. And, of course, Carleton with a 2-0 push. They're leading by quite a bit. All 5 on top there. As we're going to head now into the second round, Carleton versus American River. American River have got to find a way in here now. They're having even a poorer showing than they did last time, as really Carleton has had them under control due to the Genos Void Grip combination. I think we need to see some resilience come out here. 35% for American River as they sit on the objective, but Poison's bouncing on top of Anar's head. In fact, Poison takes it down. That's 2 as well, and it's still alive as Poison continues to push onto Carleton.
We do see the Ancient Rage come through, but there's no targets for him. King Bomb coming in. It's going to be able to get the stun on to the Buck in the backline, but it's not going to be finding the kill. Just pushes him out, keeps control for Carleton on the point. It's 39-42 and rising here, as 35% was gained by American River, but they haven't really been able to hold it down just yet.
Go. It's going to continue to push on out. bagelwOw comes around the left-hand side here. Dvelop will find Poison to start things off. Eaturbroccoli will battle off against JabJab there, but JabJab will not find the kill as the Dvelop is finally getting some direct shots off, but Grok almost eliminates the Drogos as he's been his main focus so far, but that's going to be a big fire spin as it connects onto 4.
Trying to get the similar setup to what we saw in the very first round of the last map on Brightmarsh, but just not being able to come through. JabJab looking for a kill, but the healing is just too strong from the Grok. He has nothing to deal with it. The shots were not enough. Now, while American River are still trying to hold on, RealGoochMob just doing his best, there's only so much you can do as a lone Anar.
There's too much healing. There's too much sustain on the side of Carleton. And unfortunately, the thing is that when you go with healing and sustain, you might not have the damage, but Eaturbroccoli's getting the kills. It doesn't really matter if you only have 1 DPS. If people are still falling, then they're still falling. It's almost like the protection shield going out to Grok as well as Eaturbroccoli on the Bomb King has been enough for American River to have trouble dealing with. Cacanuck does find one finally. American River have got to get their feet under it.
Looking to come through again. Just tons of damage from Powtech coming down. Going to be able to assist Broccoli to take down Cacanuck. And this is just another strong showing. And 10 streak, 15 streak, another 10 streak, all on the side of Carleton right now. They're not getting taken down. JabJab finally finds a kill to be able to end one of those, but immediately trades his life out for it.
Yeah, bagelwOw gets another one as well. So it's a 1-1 trade. Double kill for Broccoli as this payload is being pushed now. 143 remain on the clock. And this payload is around 50%. Oh, 4 members of American River are down. They're going to get it to 60%. And now American River is going to get locked in the base. They might get 4-0'd here on Serpent Beach. And Carleton just looks like the superior team as of right now.
Coming through, they're holding it down. They're being able to get a lot. Not the same impact from the Drogos, I think, is one of the big reasons right now American River haven't been able to get that pressure. Look at the damage. Like, the health bars on Carleton are not going down. Ruckus getting a little bit focused, but they're turning the kills around. JabJab, already taken down. Hexafire comes through, and they're going to be finding it. That's the last push.
That's it, yeah. I mean, too many kills come out. Carleton with a 2-0. They are not phased at all. It's everyone on top of Carleton that are just destroying it. The bird eggs came to play. Mama pregnant bird is leaving the nest as she just had enough. I mean, literally, there is just no sign of life right now on American River.
52 coming down there for Powtech, 52k damage. 3-1 and 16. Not as many kills and assists. Of course, the game didn't last quite as long because they didn't go through that initial push defense. But Bomb King was a big one for me. 11, 1, and 10. He was all over the place getting the kills.
Yeah, 16 streak for him. Only 47,000 damage, which is still up there on the charts, but it never really tells the story. 11, 1, and 10, 21 kills to 1. I mean, he had play after play after play. Eaturbroccoli was just going off on this champion. If American River has any chance remaining in this game, I don't know why teams don't do this. It comes down to their adaptation rate. I have a very high adaptation rate coming from the fighting community. You have to adapt. Bomb King, after that first game performance, would have been banned out game 2.
My notes that I have from the desk yesterday, I had 2 things written in all caps. One I'm not going to repeat, but the other one was at the top of the first page. It just said adaptation.
Right.
Can you actually handle what the other team's throwing at you?
Right.
Can you change the way things are going for you?
How quickly you can do it.
If you're in game 1, and your team from game 1 to game 2 can't figure out this is what was wrong, you're going to end up losing game 2. If the same thing goes wrong game 1, game 2, and you don't fix it for game 3, you're asking for the loss.
Yeah, I know it's easier for us to speculate from the outside standpoint rather than playing, but you have to have this mentality as a player. You got to think to yourself, why did we lose if we're American River? Why did we lose the first map? Well, the Bomb King as well as the Grok was really getting the better of us. It wasn't the Fernando, it wasn't the Inara or whatever their composition was on the other sides of the realm. It was the King Bomb that AoE stunned 3 of our teams multiple times, and it was the Grok going for 120,000 damage. Eliminate the lesser of 2 evils, which is going to be the Bomb King. I'll deal with the Grok, but the Bomb King is known to be at the top of the tier list, and you gotta have that recognition.
Going into Frog Isle for map number 3. Carleton lead this 2-0.
Right.
They need one more win, and they could just take this one fully. And they've been pretty convincing wins.
Yeah.
The first one started out rough for them, but it seemed like they got accustomed and acquainted to their setup, to their champions, everything coming through. So really, I think a lot of this relies on American River's draft phase.
100%. 100%. If you have to ban out the Bomb King, there's no doubt about it. Or if you're going to get first picked, then you have to set up to pick him yourself and let them ban him out. But you have to have somebody on your team that can play him. That's the other half of this game. There's so many champions in the game. You need to have people that can run that pick order, and not only that, just play it. As Carleton is now up 2-0. But the problem is, look, if you had banned the Bomb King after game 1, maybe you're not up 2-0 anymore. Maybe it's a 1-1 tie. You force Eaturbroccoli to see what else does this guy champion have to show us. But if you let him get his main champion 2 times, 3 times in a row, and that's the guy that puts it down on you with that same champion 3 times in a row, well, then you kick yourself after. You're thinking, I could have won more money, but I didn't think smart enough.
And it's one of those things we always kind of talk about. There's multiple ways to take champions away from the other team. Yeah. Ban, it's the easiest one. Say, no, you're not going to have that. There's no way for you to have it.
Right.
You can take it away. You can pick it. But like you said, you have to be able to play it. And we've seen quite a few teams, especially through like the PGS, through the AVGL, like anywhere, where it'll be, you just did really well with Bomb King.
Right.
We're going to not ban Bomb King, but we're going to pick it. And then their Bomb King performance is not that great just because they don't know him as well. They aren't as comfortable with him and coming through. That changes so much in your team dynamic.
Yeah, Arc is going to have a chance at the Bomb King here. If they don't go with that first pick Bomb King, Carleton, I guarantee you, takes it away in the first pick on their face. If Arc falls for the same thing once again, they will. This is going to be Bomb King and frontline right here.
This, to me, is a crutch. This, to me, seems like we see American River, who have gotten here, and they've been able to do well. But Torvald, Bomb King, immediately locked in. Carleton, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised to see them just happy, smiling, ready to go. American River still have a lot of chance going forward, especially on Frog Isle. I think this is actually one of the most open maps to be able to switch things up. But you have to put your foot down. You have to be prepared for it. And you're not taking care of the thing that's been your trouble.
Well, Virtus Pro, Elven Path, who really is really the backbone of Virtus Pro. That was the team that went all the way through, came in as the 4 seed, wound up winning #1 seed heading into HRX at this tournament here. He said Bomb King Torvald is an automatic win. Everybody knows it. And we've seen this composition come out from Carleton 2 times in a row. They've won 2 times in a row, and now they're playing Frog Isle, which is Torvald's most impactful map across the board. I don't care how Carleton, as they're going to grab Genos in this next composition here, but I don't care how Carleton rounds out this composition anymore. They're in the driver's seat to win this one.
Another Grok, this time actually taken away from Carleton. So it was one of those, we let him have the Bomb King again. We let him have the Torvald. What do? Oh, well, Carleton's just going to say, we'll grab the Grover. He's another one that's really strong on this map. Torvald, obviously, with the Hyper Beam, he can just kind of throw everyone off the edge. There's so many spots for him to set up and just knock you down.
Yeah.
Grover, really good, nice open map. A lot of places for him to get really long-range axes with that ferocity, just get a ton of damage thrown down onto you. And at this point, with the Bomb King, that's a great way to start cleaning up kills.
Yeah, I was for sure that Genos was going to come out here for Carleton, only due to the fact that wombo they've been running as Void Grip into sticky bombs, Void Grip into protection damage, things like that was going to come through. But it looks like they'll get it anyway, as Maldumba gets picking out for Arc, and they'll tack on the Ruckus as well. And they're staying with a similar composition, but they tack on the Grok this time. I don't know if switching and trying to imitate Carleton's play with that is going to be the answer.
I feel like we just saw a reaction that was kind of a what, and well, it's Pip.
Yeah.
Coming through, and we have seen some Pip here and there. We've seen him have some success, some failure. It kind of depends on the team and the way they play him.
Right.
Sometimes, like we even saw yesterday, he can come through and it'll be like, hey, wait, this could actually be a really good pick, and then it completely falls through. And that is what I'm looking at for Carleton. Like, can they actually make it work?
Yep.
Or is this going to be one where it's like, hey, we'll pick it because, why not? It's funny. Haha, we'll grab Pip. No one wants to play Pip. And then they fall because of it, and it's like, you were up 2-0. Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, but you could have just won.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should have gone Genos here. This is a common thing that younger guys are going to go with. They're going to just flex a little bit from the strategy, but I disagree. Mentality when I was playing was that put the foot on the throat, and that's it. It's end the game. You're here playing for money. You're competing. There's no time for shenanigans. Pip, however, is not a bad pick anymore. It's a phenomenal pick after OB62 has come through. The question is, can they play it, and does it suit their style? As we head now into Frog Isle, as Carleton versus American River. American River's last chance to verse and win.
And to me, this is kind of a different. I mean, Powtech going on to that. So he's been playing Grok a lot. Now he's going to Pip. I actually think this transition is going to be pretty easy for him. Right. I think he's going to be able to make this Pip shine. It's kind of lacking the Maldumba or the Genos that comes through, where it's, you normally have main healer, side healer. You have what would essentially be 2 side healers on the side of Carleton. But together, I mean, 0.5, it makes 1 coming through. That's all they really need. As long as they can kind of keep that focused around, they still have that advantage. And this is honestly kind of a composition that's just, we're going to kill you. We don't need to heal as much. Yeah. We're just going to make sure that you are dead so we don't have to.
Well, we're riding into the point now, 0-0, Carleton and American River. And what I love about this composition, Carleton's composition on paper is top tier as it comes. Grover on this map is excellent. We've seen Grover executed by Virtus Pro this weekend multiple times as it's 3-3. Carleton will get right on the point, but First Blood's actually going to go to Cacanuck. He hasn't been on the Ruckus all day, and that's been a comfort pick throughout the PGS for him, as JabJab on the Grok is going to find another kill, and now American River having a little bit of feist to him.
Looking like they grabbed what was troublesome on the side of Carleton, but they're going to be able to make it work. The Ruckus being able to get a lot of damage down right now. Powtech, they're going to be able to take down Dvelop. That Drogoz has been such a high-impact champion for American River. Losing him isn't going to lose him a lot of pressure because this Ruckus is still applying it, but it's still a little rough for him.
Now it's going to be Carleton that get on the objective. It's 42% for American River. Cacanuck, he's just going to back away from that grumpy bomb there. Demise, however, will find JabJab. Now he's got recharge coming up soon. He's going to nullify. Recharge is still up. The damage is coming through. He will recharge to get his life back. And now it's Poison and Powtech that contribute to the kill order. 51% as Carleton have retaken the objective. And right now it's 2 down for American River. This one's going to go to Carleton unless American River can do something about it.
And this is similar to what we saw like early on, where they got a very strong start for American River, but they weren't able to take up root. They weren't able to hold on to what they were grabbing. And now coming in, Powtech going to be going forward, looking for the last few damage. We're caught between a rock and a hard place, a wall and a wall coming through. But ultimately, Carleton still grab up that point, and they still get very aggressive.
It's just so funny how one change to a character could dramatically change his effect. Just the ability to use damage, fire, and all of his abilities in Weightless for Pip has literally changed the character dramatically. Now he can engage with Weightless whenever he wants and chase down opponents. He can get to higher end areas and still have the same control he did and healing as he was previously. That one change has literally dramatically adapted this character into the meta.
And as long as you can play him properly, as long as you either are using that for the aggression like we saw Powtech going for, or even a good disengage coming down from it, being able to kind of keep yourself and your team healthy as you bounce away from the damage, you're able to keep that going. Although Powtech can get taken down here. Cacanuck was the trade for him, 1 for 1 so far, as Drogo's up in the sky, but this is a perfect spot for a tree.
Yeah, JabJab. bagelwOw will find 2 though on the Grover, as Carleton had this payload pushed about 40% of the way, and now they're trying to get it a little bit more. However, JabJab is going to fall. Now 3 down for American River. This payload is going to get going, and Carleton have regrouped. They're pushing along ahead now. Coming around this final choke point now until the final stretch of the objective capture. Carleton looking for a 2-0 start, as American River are really hoping for a 1-1 defense to come out here.
They really need to hold on to everything they get. There's a minute left to push this the last little bit, but this is one of the most difficult spots, especially when you're against a Torvald who has the Hyper Beam all set up, although the Hexafire coming through is going to be able to find a double kill, looking for a third as he chases down the Pip, but he's not able to find the last couple of hits. He gets distracted, turns around, and he ends up not being able to find the kills, but 2 is still enough.
Oh, more than enough, as he'll actually find another one. Cacanuck, wow. American River looked much better this time around. Even just Cacanuck over onto the Ruckus has been a much better showing here for American River, and they need it because they have to do a reverse sweep to win this one. And so far, Carleton has had their number, and, you know, even though they didn't ban out the King Bomb, excuse me, the Bomb King Bomb the Ultimate, you could still see a comfort factor here for Broccoli. I would have banned it out just to see this guy be like, you know what, Broccoli, you've been our main detriment. Let's see what else you could play. You're not going to have your comfort zone.
Being able to come through, though. Ultimates being dropped by Carleton, ready to go, turning everyone into chickens, and then immediately displacing them back into the base, into that timeout box for a little bit. As now the bombs come up, the defensive line is set. Carleton have the overtime timer.
Yeah, that was a great job there by bagelwOw, who got multiple kills on the Grover. And this is why the Bomb King is, this is one reason is why I think the Bomb King is so OP. Once you do finally get the enemy locked in the base like that, the Grumpy Bomb every 6 seconds, what are you going to do? Now instead of only having 2 ways to come out of the base, now you have 1. And then what happens when you have 1? You get funneled like 300 into a bunch of damage. Hexafire, great use by Cacanuck here, as he almost saved the day, but it's still Carleton that get a 2-0 start.
And what was really beautiful about that for me was immediately we see the seismic crash come down. Like, Fernando's shield is there, and then he gets stunned, and that allowed the Hexafire to just eat through the 2 members standing there.
Perfect
you take
wombo
down the Fernando, and you open that up for American River, but like you said, they weren't able to really close it down, and a lot of that comes down to the fact that Powtech, he got out of that. He was low. He was 1 hit away. It could have been 2, it could have been 3, could have been up to 4 because there were so many low health bars on the side of Carleton, but they weren't able to lock down those kills. They weren't able to control it. Right now, though, the aggression immediately from American River.
Yeah, and the Hyper Beam comes out as Demise winds up picking 1. Guess what? Here's a little stat line for you. Eaturbroccoli still hasn't died yet. He's still on the same life bar from the first time. As we're seeing Forse comes out, oh, that Vine would have been great. Here it is. It's going to reset now, and look at this. 3 down as Demise finds another 2. This payload is already 21% for Carleton, and American River is pushed back in. Carleton is just outclassing American River.
Holding them down. They still have the King Bomb. If they really need it, they have a ton of healing that can come through, but here it comes coming out. King Bomb ready to go forward and try to find some of the damage, and he's going to help pick up a couple kills. Eaturbroccoli again Large impact for Carleton. Getting low, getting scared, but he's still on that first life.
Yeah, still didn't tie. He's on a 16th streak now, and this is the issue. This is the problem, because Carleton might just 4-0 again. Foot to the throat as Eaturbroccoli is just dominating American River across all paths right now. bagelwOw as well on the Grover. This was a great pick.
Bagel showing the fun part of support when you're the one on the objective. Sometimes when your team has such an aggressive positioning, you're kind of sitting back on the payload like, hey guys, I'm over here. But the rest of the team's being able to get up kills. JabJab actually being able to find a return onto 2 as they're trying to push back Carleton, but they still have 2 minutes.
And the next thing I want to see come out really from Paladins as overall esport community, when your kill streak starts getting up, at one point you just have to suicide. Because now you just gave 26 kill streak credit, benefit, as well as ultimate charge over to the killer of American River, whoever killed him there. I think it was Powtech who had got the kill on Grok. But that's a problem. Like, just jump off and suicide, no one gets it. But as we're going to see a Dragon Punch come out, Dvelop looking to do some better things here as he gets a double kill.
That was a smart turnaround coming through as well. Now the damage coming down, Demise going to fall as well. Both tanks off board, offline right now as Carleton looking to try and find their way back into this. But American River are doing something they didn't do last time, and I really like this. They find a fight, they find a win, and instead of going back to the payload, they get aggressive. They get in Carleton's face and they hold them back so that there's more space between Carleton and the payload. They're wasting the time Carleton has, and they're keeping them under control.
Yeah, they're not only wasting the time, when you set up the perimeter in front of the payload, it works the same way as when you're doing it on offense. You wind up pushing the payload backwards because you have the perimeter in front of it. However, Powtech does take down 1. He has the Evil Mojo online right now. As soon as he wants some chicken dinner, he might find it. As basically 48 seconds remain, Carleton are looking for another kill, but 2 down for American River, and now Carleton are going to get this payload pushing. It's not over yet. American River have more work to do.
Unfortunately, there's 2 ways that can go. Yes, you were able to hold off Carleton for a little bit, but now you're pushed back. You're in the same position you were last time. You're being held through. 30 seconds left. Carleton, 3 ults available, and they have the Bomb King being able to kind of corral them. Right there, Chicken's coming through.
Oh, that's it. Evil Mojo on the Cacanuck. Yeah, and he's going to take him down. Demise finds another one. Here comes all the ultimates. They all come out. All members are weak. That's it. Carleton is going to take this one. It is going to be a 3-0 defeat as Eaturbroccoli gets a triple kill to end things, and Carleton are the winners of the AVGL Stomp Nation.
They played it clean. They found what worked. They figured out what American River were trying to do. They shut it down. They kept them under control, and they didn't have to change their draft at all when it came down to it. There was so much damage. Eaturbroccoli having insane plays. Good damage that time. 9, 1, and 15. He only died once. And even though it ended up giving a little bit to American River, it wasn't enough for them to turn it around.
How does it make you feel that Eaturbroccoli has now affected, let's see, 21 from last game, 24 from this game, so 45 different kills on 2 deaths across maps 2 and 3. And you cannot let, what did I say? You cannot let the Bomb King not only go through, but also to the guy that's been wrecking you with it. Same thing happens here in Game 3. And honestly, American River, they deserve to lose this one. No adaptation from them.
And when it comes down to it, he's sending a good message at the same time. Eat your broccoli. Make sure. Grow up strong. 61,000 damage there coming through. A lot on him, as well as Powtech coming through. Both of them doing a ton for the team. But this game was all on the Bomb King right at the end. Double kill, triple kill to clean it up. And that was just kind of the story. When he got the Bomb King, he was ready.
That's right. It was an amazing day, but AVGL has been amazing. We're going to throw it over to a break now as we're going to head over to finish off the qualifier bracket Sunday finals.